How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Open Door Technologies. You guys know how much I love this stock and why I believe it has a lot of long-term potential. We also have been trading this stock's volatility inside of the private Discord, and a lot of us had the opportunity to make some money on it. If you're not a part of the private group, you can find the link down inside the description. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we got timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to be going over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. And if you are thinking about taking a position, what are some possible areas that you could take a look at? And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information and as well as the recent institutional ownership. This is key. We want to know, are institutions loading up on shares? And as far as the shorts are concerned, how heavily vested are they inside of this play? And then afterwards, we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution from Friday. Were institutions loading up on large scale orders? We're about to find out. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for Open Door Technologies. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $15.41, being up 3.28%. On the low, it tested $14.73, and then on the high, testing $15.44. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, ended up having 15.037 million shares traded, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 20.81 2 million shares. So yes, we did have some below average volume, but you can see clearly there was a lot of buying that was going on due to the fact I know everyone saw that dip. Now, when we take a look at our chart, the 1-year daily chart, we are below the 200 day. We are also below the 100 day, but you can see here we have come back to reclaim and we are above the 21-day EMA since we closed at 1541 and it's at 1531. And when we take a look at our RSI down below, you can see clearly that it is right in the middle, being right at 49.13. So you can see we have some momentum that is building up for open right now. So what I'm going to be looking out for, especially for the week that is coming, will we be able to get back to the $16 range? This is clearly going to be a psychological level, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if we hit it, because you can see we definitely have a gap here. We ended up having earnings that was released. There was a lot of excitement since they beat expectations, and then of course we had a lot of profit taking, and the market has been quite volatile as of late. And now we see open just making a rebound, trying to make its move back to the $16 range. And of course I would love to see that move going to 17, but of course we have to understand we have the 100-day at $16.90, so I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing some resistance here. But one thing that we know for the most part, just under 14 bucks, we do have some support for open, and that has been showing on multiple different occasions, and we've been able to actually take advantage of this inside of the private Discord. Anytime we went below 14, I told everyone, hey, here's an opportunity to buy if you want a quick swing trade, add to your position and so forth, and many were able to take advantage of that. So we're on Fintel. We're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information for open. So as we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So what we can see here as far as what's been going down as of late with the filings, we can see for August the 20th, we have a closed position here, and we also have two closed positions on the 18th as well, and as well as the 16th. But when we take a look at new open positions, of course we can see a good amount of activity, which is great to see. And as far as the most prominent of investments that were made, we see Invesco Limited that went in with just under 470K shares, and we also have Public Employees Retirement System of Ohio that went in with just under 198K shares. So that is also good. Now, when we take a look now at the short interest information, scrolling down on the page, we can see the short shares availability is at 9 million, updated just now. And as far as for the short ball free rate, it's at 0.58%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume volume ratio, we could clearly see for the close of the 18th, it was at 63.37. We could also see for the close of the 19th, it was at 73.22. And then the close for Friday is at 73.78. So we know already Open has a ton of short squeeze potential. But one thing to keep in mind as far as to the overall market sentiment, it is fairly negative for Open. And I just want to make sure that is something that you keep in mind, especially if you're thinking about going with a game plan or a strategy for this stock. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Open. We could see here on the inflow, it was 47.21, and then on the outflow, it was 42.58. We had 0 on the large for both. On the medium, we had 18.23, and then on the small, it was 28.98. Keep in mind, this is in the millions. When we take a look at the outflow side on the medium, it was 18.98, and then on the small, it was 23.60, and as you could tell, it was an inflow day. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you could see for August the 20th, which was a Friday, we had 0. But we had a big time outflow day on the 19th. We had inflow day on the 18th and as well as the 17th. And we also had an outflow day on the 16th. So taking all of this data into consideration, what we need to look at, there were big time outflows and it was an outflow week in general for Open. I'm not surprised about this because there was a lot of profit taking. And like I was saying, there is a lot of volatility going through the stock as far as testing areas of support, resistance. Like I said, it was a roller coaster and we got a chance to take advantage of that inside of the Discord. If you're going to be inside of this play for the coming week, I am looking forward to seeing another spike, but also be aware that you have a strategy in place so you're prepared for the possible volatility that's ahead with this stock, because I do see a continuation of that. So now let's jump into the final thoughts and as well as some more key details. So for my final thoughts for Opendoor Technology, I still believe in the long-term prospects of this company and I will continue to hold my shares. When we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership, yes, we see institutions have been loading up on shares, but in regards to the short interest information, the short volume ratio was well above 70%. And to put things in perspective, what we normally look for with stocks is 21% or higher. So this is just crazy taking this into consideration. So what this means, if we have a lot of buying volume that come through the stock or we end up getting a big time catalyst, it could really move. And I want to make sure that you're aware of that. And it's part of the reasons why I love trading off of the fluctuations and letting people know inside the Discord where you should buy it and also end up taking profits as well. Now, as far as when we're doing the technicals, if you believe in the long-term prospects like myself, I will continue to exercise some patience because there is a chance this stock could easily go back into the $13 range. And I feel that's not too bad of an area, especially if you're thinking about getting into a starter position. Do your homework and as well as do your due diligence. This is very essential. You just don't want to blindly buy a stock just because you're watching a YouTube video. I want to make sure I really emphasize this because at least when there's a lot of volatility and if you have high conviction, you should not be concerned about it whatsoever. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and we'll be talking real soon.